Hi everyone, welcome you once again to Micro Learning. This is Shailaja with Standard 12 Economics, lesson number 1, Introduction to Macroeconomics. Today we are going to see 1.7.3 along with worksheet. In this 1.7.3, we are going to study about mixedism. So previously we have seen about capitalism, we have seen about socialism. So now we have moved to mixed economy, or we call it as mixedism. What is a mixed economy? Mixed economy is nothing but a combination of both capitalism as well as socialism. That is, we have taken all the advantages from capitalism, we have taken all the advantages from socialism, we have put together and we have framed mixed economy, where we have public as well as private sector coexisting with each other. Now, what is happening to the resources? Resources are owned by individuals as well as by the government. Okay, in mixed economy, the resources can be owned by the individuals as well as by the government. But under capitalism, we saw individuals can own. Under socialism, we saw government can own. But here we can see it is both resources are held by individuals as well as government. Here I have listed out some of the countries that follow mixed economy: India, England, France and Brazil. So if they ask you what is mixedism, you are supposed to write this as your answer. If they ask you list down some countries which follow mixed economy, you have to write the countries: India, England, France, Brazil. Next one, we are going to see features of mixed economy. First one is ownership of property and means of production. Ownership of property and means of production. Production and property are owned by both the private as well as the public. So production as well as property, both are owned by whom? By both, that is the private as well as the public. So what happens? Both of them have the right. What rights do they have? They have rights to purchase, they have the rights to use it, they have the right to transfer their resources also. So this is the first feature of mixed economy. Second one, coexistence of public and private sector. So under mixed economy, we have both public as private sector coexisting. They go hand in hand with each other. But what is the ultimate motive behind a private sector? It's profit. And under public sector, it is social welfare. Next is economic planning. So we have seen under socialism, who does the planning? It is done by the government. They also follow central planning. Here under mixedism also, we follow central planning. Okay, the plan is prepared by the government. The government concentrates on both the sectors, the private sector as well as the public sector. Then all the sectors are focused under planning. No sector is left out. The three sectors: agriculture, industrial sector, tertiary sector, what is going to be their objectives, what are the priorities has to be taken, what is the target, everything is planned by the government for both the public as well as the private sector. Next one, solution to economic problems. What are we going to produce? How are we going to produce? For whom are we going to produce? And how are we going to distribute it? All this is being solved by price mechanism. Okay, because there is a state intervention. State takes up the responsibility to maintain price mechanism within the economy. The next one is freedom and control. So here, how about the freedom? Private sector has the freedom. It has the right to own all types of resource. They can produce the goods. They can distribute the goods. Same way, the government also has the right to own all resource, to produce goods and distributed. So there is freedom, but there is a control also by the government. They see that the private do not exploit the resources. Next, we are going to see the merits and demerits of mixed economy. First merit is rapid economic growth. Second one is balanced economic growth. Third one, proper utilization of resources. Next one, economic equality. The next one is special advantages to the society. So first one, we are going to see the merits, rapid economic growth. If you want to achieve economic growth, we should have the public as well as the private participating in the economy. So if both the sectors contribute together, there will be definitely economic growth. Next one is balanced economic growth. Rapid, balanced. Look at the two words. Rapid, very fast. Balanced, there should be stability in the economy. So if you want to have a balanced growth, we should concentrate on agriculture as well as industrial sector, the service sector, all the sectors we have to concentrate. Then only the economy will be balanced. We should concentrate on two types of goods. One is consumer goods, the other is called as capital goods. Okay, is it enough that we concentrate only on consumer goods and capital goods? No. We have to concentrate on the village as well as the city. So the rural and the urban has to be concentrated. Next one is proper utilization of resources. All the resources has to be properly utilized by the government. It should be for productive purpose that they use these resources. The resources should not be wasted. And the government must have a little bit of control over the private sector. Not directly, but indirectly, there should be a restriction on the private sector. Next one is economic equality. The government uses the taxation, that is, it uses progressive tax. What do you mean by progressive tax? As income increases, your taxes also increases. So there is economic equality. Next one is special advantage of the society. The government safeguards. Okay, whom do they safeguard? The workers, and especially the people who come under the weaker section. Those who are getting minimum wages, who are rationing, establishing fair price shops, okay, through public distribution system and social welfare. This we call it as special advantage of the society. Next one is demerits of mixed economy. Lack of coordination. What happens when there is two sectors operating simultaneously, one for the other? They do not accept each other. They do not coordinate. They have problems. They have their own views. This has to be solved. So this is supposed to be a greatest drawback that we face in the economy. Next one is competitive attitude. What do you mean by competitive? Private sector is competitive to the public sector. So both of them are rushing towards the profit. When one is working for profit, the other is working for the welfare. So there is a heavy competition between the government sector and the private sector. So what happens there? Sometimes the private sector doesn't look into the welfare of the society. The next one is inefficiency. Most of the public enterprises remain ineffective because they are very lethargic. There is some retapism. There is no motivation as such, and because of that there is inefficiency. Next is fear for nationalization. So under fear for nationalization, what happens? In a mixed economy, nationalization is discouraged. Private enterprises in their business operations and innovative initiatives. So, the private sector is more bothered about the innovation. Next thing, widening inequality. So, what is happening? There is a gap that has been bridged between the rich and the poor. Widening. There's a wide gap between the rich and the poor. So, these are supposed to be the merits and demerits. So, we have a worksheet. What is mixed economy? Name the countries that follow mixed economy. List down the features of mixed economy. Distinguish the merits and demerits of mixed economy. What do you mean by economic planning? So those who are watching this channel for the first time, please subscribe and support me. Thank you.